everyone. Hello, hello. Hi. How is everyone? Is everything working okay? Hey guys. Hello, hello. I lost all of my live stream settings, so this could be a bit of a shit show. So please forgive me. Please forgive me. I hope everyone is doing well. Let me go and have a look at chat. Hey Emily, hey GK, hey Catalan, Samantha Jade, Harmony, Dog Mum, Lovable Rogue, Morgan M, Mercedes Girl. Hi everyone. Hi, hello. I hope everyone's doing well. Sounds good? Okay, good, because I lost all of my settings, so I had to quickly organize it all. Now, I can't stay on for too long, and I may get interrupted by a phone call. Because Artie, as I call him, one of my rabbits, I have 4 now, I've become one of those people, is currently at the vet's having x-rays on his teeth. He may need another surgery, so I'm waiting for a call from the vet to say that, to tell me if he needs surgery or not. So I'm waiting for that. And then I've had 2 foster bunnies be spayed, have their D-sex, so I'm monitoring them as well. So I can't stay on for too long, but Harmony messaged me and told me that Lisa Montgomery was executed. And I was like, huh? It took me, I was sort of disorientated at first. I was like, wait, I spoke to Lisa. And so then I quickly went and got my letter and remembered that when we sent all those letters out last year, she was one of the only ones that responded. And it was just such a shock because she's been on death row for like 14 years, I believe. It's been 16 since the incident happened. And so thanks everyone. Yes, we hope that Artie's okay. I'm going to do a separate stream and do like a recap of what's happened in the last year, basically, of my life, and then we can move on from there. But I'm going to be taking a break from bunny stuff, from fostering at least, so that I can at least come on once a week and chat all things true crime. So I'll be back. But yeah, so 14 years Lisa's been on death row, and she was the only female federal death row inmate. And she actually writes about that in her letter to me. And they haven't been executing federal inmates recently. She's actually the first inmate to be executed, female inmate to be executed in 70 years. The last one was in the 50s. So really, really interesting and shocking. And I know if everyone has a thought, an opinion about being sentenced to death. And in this case, hey Francesca, hope you're well. Hope everyone's well. Let us know in the comments what's been going on with you guys, what you've been paying attention to in true crime. But with this, my thoughts and my feelings actually went to Eileen Warnos. Sorry, my true crime brain needs to switch on. I don't believe that Lisa should have been executed. I really don't. So let's get into things. So you'll see up on my screen soon a photo of Daisy and Huxley. They were my first buns. Huxley was my first. And then underneath is a photo of Artie, I call him. That was his rescue name, and he learnt that name, so I kept it. And then below is Miss Sassy Pants, and I call her Sassy for short. And she is adorable. But my arms are scarred from her, literally. She got her name. So they're my 4 bunnies. So let's get into it. I want to have a little look at, do we want to read the letter first, or do we want to do a recap of what's happened with Lisa? And where did my photo go? I had a photo of Lisa and it's not up. Let me add it. Sorry, da-da. I don't know where my photo went. Hey Casey, how are you? Recap first. Okay, so recap first. I need to preface this by saying I absolutely do not condone. Okay, we've reconnected. Oh my gosh, it doesn't have a name up. Who was your mum? Who was your mum? Who passed? I can't see a name. Let me see if I can see a name. No, it doesn't give me a name. Do we know who passed? Yeah, I can't see a name either. I've never seen that before. But I'm so sorry. I appreciate the donation, but I'm truly really sorry. I don't know who that is. Can you let us know her username, please? All right, I'm getting this image up. So Lisa Montgomery, we've learnt a lot about her. Oh, you're not saying her name on here? Okay, all right. You feel free to send me an email as well if you want to talk, if you need to talk. I'm always around. My email is in my about section. And a big hug. I'm so sorry. Could be Lovable Rogue. I'll find out. Okay, so Lisa Montgomery, we've learnt a lot about her life after her court case, and actually after her death, sadly, from her lawyer. Lisa Montgomery was a woman who was severely sexually abused by her family, her father and her father's friends, violently gang raped, and this wasn't known at court. In fact, at court they said that she wanted it. Don't get me started on that. So she was severely mentally ill and had been diagnosed with a lot of things such as borderline personality disorder, psychosis. So what happened was Lisa's upbringing was horrible. What happened is she pretended to be pregnant, befriended a woman, Bobby Jo Stinnett, and went over to her house claiming to be breeding the same dog as her and wanting to give her some baby clothes. And she took the baby out of Bobby Jo's uterus. Bobby Jo sadly passed, and Lisa took the baby. The baby is now 16 years old, and I do feel for her and think of her, and hope that whilst this is all going on that she's doing okay, because that's just horrific. So Lisa Montgomery was sentenced to death for that. And she's been on death row. That happened 16 years ago, and she's been on death row for 14 years. She's been the only, as I said, federal female inmate. So she's at she's in it's a bit tricky. She was, when I wrote to her, she was at the Fort Worth, Texas federal prison, but she was executed in Indiana, so I don't know when she was moved. I will have to look at that. GK, I really agree. I don't think that she should have been executed. There is a huge issue with people being executed when they're severely mentally ill, and there is law to that and to make sure that doesn't happen, but it's not working. I mean, this reminds me a lot of Eileen's case, the fact that she was so mentally incompetent and didn't understand that she was being executed, and I don't think that Lisa did either. I don't know what the baby's name is now. I think that for privacy reasons, they probably haven't released that. Maybe when she's over 18 and she's older, she might want to tell her story. But at the moment, she, obviously being a minor, I think that she would be protected. So I want to have a little look. Yeah, the Supreme Court ruled it unconstitutional, but who overturned it? So it was overturned at the last minute. And I think that Lisa was very shocked when it happened, because apparently when she went into the room, she was stunned. They asked her if she had any final words. She mumbled something. She was wearing a mask. They asked her to take the mask off, and then she said no. All she said was no, so she didn't have any final words. And I'm not, as I said, I'm not... This doesn't take away from the fact that Lisa did something incredibly vile and horrific and took a baby from her mother and changed the course of that baby's life and that entire family's life. But I don't support executing people who are mentally incompetent. That's just me personally. So let's have a little look. Yeah, and I know some people will totally agree with it. And look, I'm all for everyone having their own opinions. I totally respect that. I want to have a little look at the letter that she sent. Now, I sent a bunch of letters out. I sent over 50 letters out, and I only got 2 back. But the problem was I sent them out just as COVID hit. And so I think that a lot of people didn't get the letters because they shut down the mail. And I don't know whether the mail's opened up. That's why nothing's happened with this, with the letters, is because I mean, I got some letters back, sent back to me. So I'd go to the PO box, oh, you've got mail. And it was just my letter. So we may have to do that, you know, post-COVID. So let's have a little look. I want to show you the envelope first. So this was the envelope from Lisa. Hey, Gingerlock's mum. Oh, really, lovable rogue? Which case? So this was the letter, the envelope that was sent to me. I can't find a date on it, but I'll go back and have a look for the other stream and see. But it doesn't have anything on it. So let's have a look at the first. Oh, let me move this. You'll have to forgive me. I haven't done this in a long time. And so things are gonna, I slowly promise to get better at this. Okay, so it says, Dear Bridget, thank you for writing to me. I could not share my story with you of why I am here. However, I'm willing to share with you what my life here is like. Hey, TTNZ, I need to reply to your email. It's literally sitting up on my screen. I promise to reply. So the reason that she couldn't share her story was because she was still fighting it. Oh, yes, Heidi Prasad is the... Yes, was a lot. Sorry, I was thinking about execution-wise. Yes, that is another story that was very similar to this, and I remember covering Heidi Prasad. I haven't looked into anything. I need to go back and take a look at all of my old cases. I do have a scoop in the Kevin Bacon, Mark Latunsky case that was given to me. I have some very interesting things to share with you very soon about that. Okay, let's keep going. I'm in a federal prison, which is under a different set of directives from a state prison. I am housed in a maximum unit, with 5 other women. None of them are on death row. I'm the only female in the federal system who is. So it's really, she talks about it. And she's now the first female to be in the federal system who was executed in the last 70 years. So that's interesting. I have my own cell with a shower and toilet sink. We don't share rooms, although I have in the past when we had more women in here. Let me scooch this in a little. I have a job. We do the laundry for 2 of the lockdown units. It's an all-day job. In my spare time, I work on crafts. This sentence got me. Right now, I'm making a barn and animals for one of my grandchildren. I have 12. So I didn't actually know she'd had children. That was something new that I'd learnt. Cat Lady 58, I'm so sorry to say that she has been executed. There was a stay, and then the next day it was overturned. And it happened very quickly. For being on death row for 14 years, if you know what I mean. Okay, so she was making crafts for her grandchildren. I have access to a limited email if you are interested. If you have an email address I can get approved, then I will send you info on a hang on, let me look at the real letter. I don't know what that word is. Something site. It's a something site where you would be able to send and receive emails from me. I have to pay a per minute charge, but it's free on your end. It would be cheaper and faster than mail, although it is not instant. All of the messages wait until someone can approve them, typically once a day. You asked me how the virus is affecting us. We are getting a sack breakfast of dry cereal in the morning and a sack dinners of sandwiches in the evening. We are totally confined to our units. We can't even go outside. This is prison-wide. So far we have had 1 case and it was isolated. The prison is getting us free phone calls and video visits for the time being. So really right now things are not too bad. I forgot no visitors at all for now. I will, hang on, let me unlock that. Well, I want to get this in the mail to you. Hope it helps in some way. Take care, Lisa. So yeah, yeah, that was Lisa Jo's letter to me. Hey, Amy. Oh, I've missed you guys too. So yeah, Lisa has been executed. It was a total shock. She has beautiful penmanship. I think I got 1 or 2 other letters. I'm not sure if I've shared them. It's sort of been a bit crazy. I will see if I can find them and share them on another live. As well. It's so good seeing everyone in here and anyone that's listening and that just doesn't feel comfortable chatting or is listening whilst doing stuff. I personally listen to a lot of lives. I don't chat. I listen whilst I'm cleaning. I have 6 bunnies in the house at the moment, and to have 6 bunnies and be chronically ill is a challenge. So I listen to lots of lives and clean at the same time. Yeah, she had 12 grandchildren. And her sister has been very vocal. You'll see lots of interviews on YouTube if you type in her name. Lots of interviews from her sister, and she says that she was also raped in the family house, and so Lisa had a very, very, very rough life. Suffered from a lot of PTSD. But it does not excuse what she did. She killed a woman and she took a baby from her mother, and it's horrible. And Cat Lady, that's totally fair. I mean, I live in Australia. We don't have the death penalty here, so I'm looking at it from a completely different perspective. I'm also looking at it as someone who wasn't affected by this crime. If I was Bobby Joe's family, then, you know, I don't know how they feel. And if they feel comfort in this, then I don't take that away from them at all. It's, you know, the whole thing is just really sad to me. I think I find it sad because it feels like it could have been, this could have been avoided, because from what I heard of the interviews from the sister. Oh, sorry, I just got a text. I just got an email from someone, and I just want to say thank you so much to that person, and I will reply to you soon. Anyway, so, hey, Miss Justice. Sorry, that threw me. I don't remember what I was saying. Brain. True crime brain. Work. So I feel like it could have been prevented in a sense, because the sister was taken out of the home. And Lisa wasn't. And so I think that I feel frustrated and annoyed and angry and sad, because it feels like tragedy on all ends. I don't have any empathy or sympathy for cold-blooded killers. I really don't. In this, I just feel like it's sort of hard. And I don't know whether that I have bias because she's female either. Maybe I do. I know that I felt for Eileen as well. So I don't know. Maybe I have some bias in here. No, Morgan, that was my dad. My life is so much about rabbits that he sent me a photo of a rabbit whilst he was at work. Everything's about rabbits in my life at the moment. Unfortunately for some people are like, why so many rabbits? So yeah, that is the sad tale of Lisa Montgomery. Which it really kind of shocked me though, because in the end it happened quickly. It doesn't, but then it does. So apparently I'm not getting political. I refuse to. But I did hear that apparently Biden is going to do away with federal executions, I believe. Which to me then kind of makes it even more sucky that in 5 days that would be implemented. So yeah, just the whole thing's pretty sad as well. Same with cats. Why not so many rabbits? Yeah, my house is just crazy at the moment. Whereas this this happened in Indiana. I don't know when she was moved. When I wrote to her in Texas. I don't know whether it's closer to when she got her execution date, they moved her. I'm not sure how that actually works. Either. So, oh really, Cat Lady, thank you so much. So the state decides and chooses the type of execution. So I mean, we have done lives in the past about execution, because to me it's so obviously so foreign being Australian. And we've talked about how the different types, and some places they still, especially in like Indonesia, they still have the firing squad, which is just, it sounds just wild. But we've also talked about how lethal injection, there's been huge debate over lethal injection these days. And I did hear that when Lisa was executed, after they gave her the second dose, she gasped. She gasped and grabbed her stomach. Yeah, unfortunately, I have read that, Cynthia. So yeah, just absolutely shocking. Oh, thank you, Cat Lady. So apparently the state where the crime was committed is where the trial is. But is that where the execution is as well? Is that why they took her back? This is me being Australian, just being like, covering an American case and looking like a complete idiot. Yeah, lethal injection. I think we did a live where we talked about all of the different types, and then we got morbid, because I know if you're into true crime, then you get that way. And I think we all decided we picked what type of execution we'd want, and I think that I actually decided on firing squad in the end, because everything else is, a risk of not actually working. Hey, Miley May. I'm good. I have been so incredibly busy. She had 4 children. See, I didn't know that aspect of it. And so she has 12 grandchildren, and she was making crafts for them all the time. Apparently she had severe PTSD. She had borderline personality disorder, possibly bipolar, I believe, psychosis. So that's just crazy. But that was the big sort of news. There has been things that have been going on, and I'm like, I want to do a live about it or a video about it. But I've been so busy, and I am making videos quite often. It's just not on this channel. I make videos for the Rabbit Sanctuary's YouTube channel. If you go and search Rabbit Rescue Sanctuary, you will see all the videos that I do. We just had a video on a rabbit who we rescued that was infested with maggots. And thanks to an amazing foster carer and a vet, we were able to save the bunny. And that video has done really well. I'm really proud, because that channel, we started out with like 200 subscribers, and I've been able to grow that channel, and that video's had over 1,000 views, which I'm proud of. So it's nice. I want to grow that channel for the rescue so that they can monetize and actually, yes, GK Honey Drops. Oh, Honey Drops. She's had so many adoption inquiries. I actually do adoptions now as well. So I've been seeing all of her adoption inquiries. Everyone's fallen in love with her. And I actually have 2 rabbits here, Neve and Noelle, who look exactly like Honey Drops. And these 2 girls were 80% matted each. I'm doing a video on it. 80% matted each. So I had to take off all of their matting. It was very, very, very emotional. I bawled my eyes out. So I've gone from true crime, which is all about people being horrible to other people, to animal rescue, which is people being horrible to animals. So it's all fun here. Thank you, Erica. What great information. So 2 of her children testified for her at her court case. She was in the middle of a custody battle with her ex-husband, Carl Bowman. I remember hearing that when they found out that that Lisa was the one that took Bobby Joe Stinnett's baby, she was actually watching news coverage of it. It's just wild. It's totally wild. Do bunnies ever fight with each other? Absolutely. They're very, very territorial. And so I have 4 pens set up in my lounge room, and then a barrier between the lounge room and the rest of the house, because my bunnies can't interact with the other bunnies. And if I was just to let 2 bunnies out, they would fight each other. You're a cat lady? I used to be a cat lady. I had 2 kitties. Kitties and bunnies get along really, really well. Everyone's like, why are you talking about bunnies on a true crime channel? I'm sorry, it's The channel's all things true crime with a side of bunnies. You can't hate bunnies. But if there's any bunny crimes, then I'm sorry, no. I can't do that. Although technically I do that with rescue work. But yeah, so if you want to see videos that I'm doing, it's nothing related to true crime, but sometimes you need to watch. I find myself now watching just like fun random videos. I think 2020 was rough. GK, you've just put it perfectly. You need light with the dark. 2020 was rough for so many of us. I mean, I lost Bella in February and it ruined my life in a way. I lost my dog Bella, and it was, 3 months of cancer, and then she passed, and it changed my life. And if she hadn't have died, wouldn't have started doing bunny rescue work, and now I do that, and it's incredibly emotional and exhausting, but it's very, very rewarding to be able to take a bunny, like the bunnies that I'm looking after at the moment. They were 80% matted. Their mats were so bad it was to the skin. It was just awful. And they've just had their space surgery, and then they're going to get adopted and live an amazing life. And it's nice to make a difference in the world. So Harmony says that Lisa pretended to be pregnant twice, and the first husband threatened to take the kids because she was unwell. So she did what she did to show him she could have a baby. Wow. You just wonder if she'd gotten the help that she'd need, then probably Bobby Joestonette would be alive today. But do you guys do that as well? You go down these thought patterns with true crime. Well, if this didn't happen, then this part wouldn't have happened, and probably this part wouldn't have happened. And you sort of just wonder, the what-ifs of true crime, I suppose. Kitties fighting? Yeah. Rabbits can do some serious damage, people. They can really do damage. When I do like a catch-up live, I'll show you what happened to my arms from Miss Sassy Pants. She is an attack bunny. That's how she got her name. She attacked her rescuer. And we think that she's deaf. So it's just... she's a delight, but she's the cutest little thing ever. Yeah, there were probably many chances for a different turnout. That's what I think with a lot of cases. I really, really do. We're coming up to, I can't remember the date, but the 1 year anniversary of the Baxter Clark case, the Australian case that I covered. I never finished that video. I lost everything on my laptop, but I had actually printed the script out. So I have the script. I just need to download all of the footage and stuff to make the video. That's a case that will always stay with me. I don't know if you guys remember that, but that was the case where the separated husband poured petrol on Hannah Clark and the 3 children and killed them all. Tina the turtle, that's awesome. Turtles are amazing. What type of turtle is it? Do you think that if she's deaf, that's why she's scratching you up? I think that Miss Sassy Pants has a genetic problem. When they tried to do her space surgery, she had no uterus. She has an issue with her tummy, her cecum as well. She has a very sensitive tummy. She has huge behavioral issues, so I have a feeling genetically there's something wrong with her, and that's the reason she was dumped, because she was definitely dumped. She was found on the streets. She was severely underweight when I got her, and now she's a nice little fatty that loves her hay. There's some videos on Miss Sassy Pants on the Rabbit channel as well. I'll do a community post with the link, but it's just Rabbit Rescue Sanctuary. It should come up. You'll hear my voice in the video and go, oh yeah, that's Bridget. But you should definitely watch the video on Honey Drops. She's about, I think we thought she was about 10, 12 weeks, and she was just covered in maggots. You don't see them. You don't see it. So it's not It's not that. A painted turtle. I'll have to Google that. Hang on, I'll look on my phone. I've always wanted to have turtles, but I think over here you actually have to have a license for them. Oh, painted turtle. Gorgeous. Oh gosh, painted turtles are so pretty. You guys go Google it. Thanks, Morgan. Yeah, we're trying to get the channel to 1,000 subscribers, and that way they can monetize. And the money that they can get from doing that will help save so many bunnies, because, I mean, we took in 100 in December, and that was only a third of what was surrendered to us. We just couldn't take in any more than that. So it's just wild. I wanted to do a live about it, but I didn't feel right. I wanted to do a live and say, like, hey, if there's any way you can support the rabbit sanctuary, like, please help. But I didn't want to come back after all this time and be like, hey, I want you to do this for me. I didn't think that was very fair. But if you ever do want to help the rabbit sanctuary, then just watch the videos. Watch the videos and give it a like and subscribe and share it with your friends. And sometimes you just need to watch random videos on YouTube. I've started watching videos of women who have really large families, and they do like freezer cooking. And they like bulk cook, and like I only cook for myself. I find it fascinating, like people that have like 10 kids and they're cooking all these big meals. I don't know why it just relaxes me. I watch all these really random things on YouTube just to relax me as well. And I think that everyone needs to do that for their mental health. And I think that's probably part of the reason why true crime for me in 2020 wasn't something that I was following too much, because so much was going on in the world, and it just seemed like another negative as well. So I don't really know a whole bunch of cases that happened in 2020. Was there any big cases that I missed? I'm still following the Kevin Bacon case. I will have a video soon with some exclusives that no one else has put out. But I haven't really followed anything else, I don't think. Yeah, I haven't paid any attention to the Valo Daybell case at all. I'll admit to that. You blocked out most of 2020. 2020 for me was just about rabbits, really. I don't know how many rabbits I fostered. Over 10, I think. I adopted Artie and Sassy. It was crazy. You've been listening to lots of different channels to balance chakras. I think we have to just have things that distract us. And I know true crime distracts a lot of us as well. Harmony, I didn't know that. Savannah Spurlock's killer was sentenced to 50 years. That's amazing. So he'll be, what, 70, 80? Because I think he was around 20 or 30. If he serves that full time, which I hope he does. I can't believe I missed that. See, I haven't been on my true crime Facebook at all. I need to be on there. And I know that we have our true crime Facebook group, All Things True Crime, and I haven't been on in like a month. And Mercedes Girl and I'm just blanking. Erin and Tamara are modding it, and I know Tamara does a lot of work into putting out all of the latest true crime stuff. So if you're looking for a group of people who love true crime and chatting about all these different cases, then you really should join that group. Because we talk about old cases and new cases, because I still do like cases that have that sort of completion, that we know more about. Actually, something I did follow in 2020 was the Golden State Killer, Joseph D'Angelo, and me and Harmony talked about it a lot offline. I listened to the victim impact statements and just sort of bawled the entire time. I listened to him say, what was the words that he said? He didn't say guilty. He said, what did he say? Oh, what was the two words that he said to everything? And it was in, I'll never get the voice out of my head. Morgan, the Golden State Killer lived around the corner from me. Oh my gosh. I admit. That was it. Is it I admit? I admit. I have him in my head. It was just so chilling. That's something that that's something of 2020 with true crime that just absolutely shocked me, was finally getting justice for all of these families, because the Golden State Killer, just wild. Hang on, something else happened? They caught somebody else as well. It's hard to remember. So hard to remember. What else happened in 2020 with true crime? I can't think. I think we've all forgotten 2020 already. And I don't think anything's happened with Brittany Shank either. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to look. We stopped our entire work day to watch the news conference when they caught GSK. Yeah, I remember waking up, because I'm in Australia, I wake up to all of this news. I remember waking up on Twitter and just being like, what? They caught him, but Joel Guy Jr. Oh, I watched that. Yes, Harmony always messages me with, she's like, you have to see this, and so I go and have a look, and I watched. That's a case I really do want to cover. I did almost come back to do Joel Guy Jr. Oh my gosh. Is that a crazy, that, oh boy. It's bad when during the trial they blank out the crime scene photos because they're that graphic. And he just looks, it's just crazy because in some respects he just looks like the average guy, but at the same time he looked totally crazy. Stock pots will never be the same. Oh, I know. Did anyone else watch the Joel Guy Jr. trial? If you haven't, you really have to. The thing about that, though, is that trial is, I didn't really feel, it felt really pointless. Yeah, Miss Justice, yeah, that case. It didn't really feel like there was a point. Joel Guy Jr. It felt like, he was doing it for the money, but it I don't know, it just sort of felt, obviously it was senseless, but for the level of depravity that he showed, because he dismembered his parents, and I mean, I'm not even going to say out loud because I don't want anyone to hear it and get upset. Go and have a look at what he did. Just trigger warning, it's bad. When crockpots are involved in true crime, I mean, go and watch my Catherine Knight video. That's what it reminded me of. Catherine Knight did that to her partner here in Australia, not too far from me actually, and I found out that my hairdresser knows someone who was there at the crime scene for Catherine Knight. So go and watch my video on her. She was absolutely crazy. But it was so senseless, and it was just for money. But it was so violent. Like the overkill. I know a lot of people use that, but the overkill. You're right, Mercedes girl. Amber Geiger tried to appeal her sentence as well, which was very shocking. So Amber Geiger is the woman who went into Botham Jean's apartment and shot him and killed him. And it was really that was really confusing to me, because I didn't think that she would appeal it. No, Morgan, it's not good. I don't know whether I just sort of outright say it. What happened to poor Joel Guy Jr.'s. And I mean, I did the video on Catherine Knight, and it was the only case that I actually felt nauseous doing, because of how brutal it was what she did. She was so brutal. I definitely want to bring back True Crime Spotlight and do spotlights on some cases, and I think the first one back will be Hannah Clark and what happened to her 3 babies. What kind of sentence Amber Geiger got? She only got, was it 10 or 15 years? And, you know, we had that amazing moment in court where Botham Jean's brother hugged Amber Geiger. And it was like one of the most powerful things I've ever seen in a trial. And so for her to appeal it, I was just sort of like, you got lucky. You got so lucky. Why do this? It was just very confusing for me. I don't know where we're at with that. Let me quickly have a Google. Well, actually, there's just been some new news about Botham Jean in the last day. Apparently, they're going to change Lamar Street in Dallas to Botham Jean Boulevard, which is amazing. That's just happened, actually. So in August, she appealed her conviction. How many years? She only got 10 years. But that she wouldn't have served the 10 years. So then what happened? I don't know if anything's been done since then, though. She's filed to appeal the murder conviction. So Cynthia, Catherine Knight. Okay, so I'm just going to give a trigger warning. It's gruesome, but this is true crime. And obviously I'm not going to be monetized for this video, but that I really don't care. Catherine Knight, you need to go and watch my video on it. If someone can link my video in the chat, that would be amazing. Catherine Knight killed her ex-lover and put his head in a pot and was trying to feed it to his children. Fortunately, the police came before that could happen. I have no recollection of Erica is it Stefanko? Just Stefan. I don't know how to say that. Stefanko. That's how I would say it. And the pizza delivery murder. I don't know about either of those. But Australia has some pretty brutal crimes. Just because we don't have guns, I think I've said this numerous times before, just because we don't have guns doesn't mean that our crimes aren't brutal. We have a lot of really brutal things that happened. I've had a lot of comments recently on my Stephanie Scott video. I'll have to look it up, Morgan. I actually don't know anything about it. That name is familiar though. So I have a lot of people commenting on my Stephanie Scott video at the moment. My Evie Amato video, she went into like a 7-Eleven petrol station, we'd call it, with an axe and assaulted a man with an axe, and it's all in my video, the actual surveillance video. Mercedes Girl, my true crime spotlight on Catherine Knight. I mean, we had, which I will finish the video on, the Hannah Clark murder, where her ex poured petrol all over her and their children and killed them. That really shook me to my core. We have a lot of brutal crimes. We also had I'm running a blank on what his killer name was. Let me Google it. What was it called? Was it South Australia? The case of the murders of the girls. Is it Snowtown? No, I don't think it's... No, Claremont. Thank you, Claremont. We also had the Claremont killer in Australia convicted, which was something big, but I haven't really looked into it too much. But it was one of Australia's longest running and most expensive criminal investigations. But we have some really crazy cases over here as well. And then I want to do some more information on Lynette Dawson, Chris Dawson as well. So there's lots to do. But what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap it up for now. Because that's all I wanted to come on and talk about, was just a little bit about Lisa Montgomery and her letter to me, and sort of the shock over it all, and to say hello after a long time of being away. I gained some new subscribers thanks to the Sword and Scale podcast. If you didn't know, Sword and Scale actually did a podcast episode on Kevin Bacon, and they used my interview with David, one of Mark Latunsky's potential victims. They used some of the audio from that. Don't worry about it, Mercedes Girl. I'll link it in the comments of the video. I'll link the Catherine Knight video there as well. I think if you go to my playlist, my True Crime Spotlight, the Catherine Knight videos there anyway. But yeah, so Sword and Scale used my interview, and I think that a lot of people popped over from that, which is awesome. So if you want to go and listen to that episode, be sure to go and check with whatever podcast app you use. Just type in Kevin Bacon and it will come up. That case is progressing. and we should know more soon. I will do another video on that because I have some things to share with you that aren't public. Luckily, I have some sources close to the case, and I do chat with Kevin's parents, his mum, a lot. So yeah, I'll bring you more about that soon, but hopefully I can come back and do a live every week, at the least, and then get back to my edited videos. I love doing my edited videos on different cases, and if you have any requests after the live's finished, if you want to pop them in the comments for cases that you'd love me to do an in-depth of. I pride myself on being I love to research cases and make sure that I get all of the juicy details for you. So yeah, I'm back. Thank you so much for coming to the live today and supporting me. I really appreciate it. Another big thank you to Anonymous for the donation, and I'll get back to your email very soon. And yeah, stay safe, everyone. Thank you, Emily. I think Emily's just popped up the video of Catherine Knight, and Mercedes Girl has put up the link of my True Crime Spotlight. There's a whole bunch of different videos for you to binge on Aussie crimes that are just crazy as well. So enjoy, and I'll see you guys soon. Please take care, everyone. Bye, guys.